What is going on, you guys? My name is Alex, and I'm a 21-year-old trader attempting to master the stock market to potentially one day join the very few who make a living out of this. So ExxonMobil just crashed today. Massive, it's what we call an elephant candle here. So an elephant bar, massive red candle just broke through a massive support level here. Yesterday, I was looking for a slight move to the downside, but we got more than that. We got an aggressive elephant candle. Look at the volume down here, just above average. So I don't know what the news behind this, and I don't really care. I just know that I traded this blue trend line here on the break right here of this. I thought this was an aggressive candle, but seeing this, it just completely obliterated that smaller candle. So looking at the 5-minute time frame, I did sell early. I sold a little too early, not gonna lie. It's kind of hurting me right now. I probably missed out on like $1.50, maybe even $2. And with 100 shares, that means that I missed out on like $150 or $200. But that doesn't matter. I still hit my target. A successful trade, called it out very nicely. Hardly gave me any pain besides right now the fact that I'm missing out on a lot of profit. But it hardly gave me any pain in terms of like going against me. We were pretty much just coming down. And for this trade in particular, I did go short. So if you're not familiar with shorting is, essentially making money when prices come down. Yes, you could bet against stocks, and that's exactly what I did here. So let's look at my profits here for the day. So actually, I still am holding BABA. That's one that actually gapped up today. So initially, I don't know if you guys remember, but initially we entered on the gap up because it broke the support level or the resistance trend line. But then it gapped up again today. So it's a really interesting trade playing out right now. Let's look at our transaction and see how much money we made today. So if you look at the top left, it is today, July 18th. And let's see how much money we made. $420. So ExxonMobil, really nice trade, $421. Really nice trade. I have nothing else to say besides perfect execution, perfect exit. So now that we have that out of the way, let's look at BABA, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what's going on with that one and what my plans are, because it's not looking too good, especially when you have two gaps in the daily time frame here. These gaps tend to get filled relatively quickly, and especially today, we did gap up, but then we're like pretty much just giving the majority of it away. We still have a nice gap here, so I feel like on Monday that gap is going to close. But I think what I'm going to do is just continue trailing this with my red line like I explained in my previous video, and just see if the price could maybe just move up a little bit higher, and if not, we'll just exit out with a small little profit or even a break even at this point if it does close above this red trailing stop that we have right there. So that's BABA, and I'm going to explain to you guys, because it is about to be 10:30, and 10:30 is the time that I enter new trades, because the 4-hour candle is big. The 4-hour candle closes at 10:30, so we got around 15 minutes here before the candle closes. And the one that I'm going to be looking at is actually a pretty famous, popular stock that we have here, and that is Netflix, you guys. Netflix also had an elephant bar today, an aggressive red candle, as you will see shortly. And not only that, but it's an explosive volume, as you can see down here in the bottom. Above average volume, so nice little breakout. And again, I don't have my trend lines here just because I typically draw my trend lines on my phone here, but all right, that's a lot better right there. So we got 1 point here, and this point, it could be a little arbitrage or objective, but I think it's a good one because we did break previous resistance here with this green candle. So I think it's a good point of anchor. So we got 1 point here, second one here, and third one here, and then finally an aggressive break under this. So you might be wondering, what do you do now once you figure out the trend line here? Well, you get another trend line here just for a potential trailing method here. So I'm not going to use this as my hard stop. This is going to be my trailing method in the case that the price does move sideways, and then it tries to move up a little bit. We'd have already locked in some profits, but that's only if the price moves sideways or even if it moves down, and just considering time as a factor in this case. But the hard stop is going to be above this candle here, and it doesn't really make sense, but that's just in case the price does aggressively move up on Monday here. Then in that case, I would just get stopped out. But in most cases, we typically just see a sideways move or even a continuation to the downside, and then a potential move against us, and in that case, I'd just be locking in or just closing my trade at this point, which would be a break-even trade. So my hard stop is going to be above this current candle here, this massive red candle, and then my soft, I guess you could say, or trailing stop loss, or even trailing profit if we're already in the profit, is going to be this red line. So I'm actually going to switch the color of this trend line in the bottom here to a blue color. All right, so you have your technicals, you have your setup, you have your confirmation. What do you do next? Not only that, but you also know you also have your stop loss already. So what do you do now? Well, you calculate the numbers. So we know that price is at 210 right now. We know the high of this candle is 1,246. So 246 minus 210, what is that real quick? So it comes out to 36. So 36 is the difference between what the current price is and the high of this candle, which is your stop loss. So now you got to think to yourself, well, how much money am I willing to risk in this trade? And for me, it is 200. So you divide 200 minus 36. Sorry, 200 divided by 36, and then you get, well, let me calculate that real quick for you guys. All right, so what it comes out to is 5.5. So now you take that, you go to your broker, and in this case, I'm using Interactive Broker here, and you go to Netflix, which I'm already watching here. So instead of buying, I'm going to be selling. So if you're not familiar with shorting is, it's essentially making money when prices go down. And I need to put my password. Hold on. All right, I'm just double checking everything's fine now. So let's press the sell button, and again, we're gonna do, how many shares? I keep forgetting. Jeez, it's pretty. All right, so it's only 5.5, but we can't do decimals like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go short 6 contracts. So that's gonna cost us around 7,000, as you can see here. So let's go ahead and sell. All right, we are in, and this is a real account. I do plan on showing you guys my statements at the end of the month here for you guys, but for now, this will do. 6 shares shorting Netflix here. That's where we're filled. So we actually got a better price. So we're in at 1,211. So pretty good. And now at this point, we just have to put the numbers down in our spreadsheet and let the price run. So we're not going to get to see if this is successful until next week. So yeah, this is probably the best setup that I've seen aside from Adobe and ExxonMobil. This is a really good setup here. Really proud to take this trade here. No hesitation at all. Heck, Netflix, maybe if you guys are watching this video, a good opportunity for you guys will be to short Netflix right now. You could say it is overpriced as well, but I mean, the stock market is generally overpriced a lot often. So there it is, Netflix. Let's look at how we're doing for the week for you guys. We just started the week pretty bad with like 4 losses, 2 losses that put us down around $300 in losses. And again, today we probably made that back. So let's look at the past 7 days. So from July 12th, I think this is Monday, to July 18th. Is that Monday? Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. But these are the 5 trades that I took this week, and we are coming out slightly in the green. So $187 up. These are all the trades we took: ExxonMobil, Walmart, Spotify, BABA, Adobe, and today Netflix. So $187 for the week. We actually did manage to make some money this week. We were talking about this yesterday about it being like a 50 to 60% possibility that we are going to make money or not. So $187 up, and that's not even considering the BABA trade that I have on right now, which is up 166. So if we were to sell the BABA trade right now or close a position, we'd probably be up like around $300 or so, around $250 to $300. So pretty proud of this week, and that's pretty much it. I am going to explain to you guys a couple of things on the weekend. Maybe I'll break down my strategy further. Maybe I'll break down my watch list. I don't know what I'll do, but just stay tuned, you guys. And that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe, you guys. Stay focused.